Hi, class. I hope your Mardi Gras were safe and happy. Um, I have a few announcements and thoughts on the quiz that you took last week, and announcements on the project coming up in this video. So, three things I'm going to tell you. Uh, First of all, a couple short points about questions that people struggled with on the last quiz about um, the about careers and interviews. There were a few questions that very many people got wrong, and I think much of this had to do with the wording of the questions. But I wanted to go over the content just to be on the safe side. The first question: which of the following would not necessarily be good advice when preparing for an interview? That's somewhat confusingly phrased, but the correct answer is to always wear formal clothes. And this relates to a couple of the answers that were correct. That would be good advice for preparing for an interview, to research the company and research major trends in the industry. The point being that some companies and types of industries tend toward and trend toward not being formal. And maybe the primary example of this would be Silicon Valley, especially if anyone watches the show Silicon Valley on HBO, which I do. Um, but even just thinking of Steve Jobs, who always debuted the new Apple product wearing like a black turtleneck and jeans. I think to go to an interview at Apple wearing a suit would actually be inappropriate because that's not the way that industry works. So find out about the industry and the context in which you're interviewing. Um, and that can go a further way than actually being formal. The second question that a few people struggled with, which is also confusingly phrased, so I apologize for that, was which of the following is not good advice for designing a resume? And the correct answer was avoid white space, as it makes the resume seem empty and the applicant seem inexperienced. This isn't good advice. It's totally great to have some white space on a resume. People just put highlights on their resumes. It's not like everything they've ever done. So, really, really often, a resume that's filled with text and stuff all over it is not the resume of someone who's totally awesome. It's someone who's just bursting with stuff to tell you about. But that doesn't mean stuff that makes them qualified for the position they're applying for or stuff that makes them an appropriate applicant. So, making a resume readable and appropriate to the field in which you're applying is a lot more important, often than even seeming experienced. So, that's what that question is about. Um, okay. Um, on to the second thing I wanted to tell you, which is that I put up a forum on um, our Moodle page under editing job letters. It's a workshop for your drafts of job letters and resumes, totally optional. But as you work on this project, due Sunday, February 21st, um, if any of you is interested, and a couple of you seemed like you were, feel free to post drafts of your job letters or resumes, um, to get feedback from each other. See what your materials look like, so you have a sense of what your classmates are doing. And I'm going to participate in this as well to give you some feedback before the final assignment. So I wanted to let you know that that's up there and available to you. Lastly, I Also wanted to give you a heads up that the design quiz on chapter 9, which will be useful for designing your resumes, is due the same time that the resume and cover letter are due. So that quiz is available for you to take right now. If you want to take that sooner, um maybe this Sunday where we don't have a quiz as opposed to next Sunday when those final materials are due, you might want to plan ahead and do that. Whenever you want to take it, anytime through midnight of the 21st is fine. That bit of scheduling is up to you. As always, let me know if you have any questions about anything. Um, have a good week and see you online.